RMJ Movie Reviews back again, and I'm coming with an on-the-fly movie review of the newly released thriller entitled Don't Breathe, starring a bunch of kids and veteran actor Stephen Lang, who appeared in Avatar, Tombstone, The Hard Way, playing the Party Crasher, Guilty by Sin. That was a movie with Don Johnson and Rebecca De Mornay. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. You've seen that actor before. Don't Breathe. I had heard very little about this picture before it had come out. And I know this past weekend, it had just basically displaced Suicide Squad. Holding the number one spot. Suicide Squad coming in number two now, breaking its streak that's been going on for weeks and weeks. So I had seen a little preview for it. I'm kind of at the point now, like when I see advertisements for movies, I try to not watch them anymore because the trailers are they're just giving away too much. They're giving away the whole dang on movie, and I absolutely can't stand it. So I saw a couple of trailers and I felt like I was seeing too much. I kind of felt like I did see too much now that I've seen the film, but I'll go on about that later. But either way, I just was like, you know what? I'll just listen to reviews, non-spoiler reviews, and then I'll go watch the film and I'll tell you what I think. I very much really liked this film. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I think this is a solid horror thriller. Basically, it's just a story of there's these three young punks in Detroit. They get their kicks and their money by breaking and entering into people's houses and robbing them of their goods and all that kind of stuff. And basically, one of the member of the crew who's soft on one of the chicks, because it's two guys and a girl, his father works for a security company. He basically finds out that there's this homely blind man played by Stephen Lang. So any of us who are familiar with films know that if this blind man is played by Stephen Lang, we know that he's not some poor old homely blind man, but to the average movie viewer, they don't know that, unless they've seen the previews. So either way, they think, hey, this guy, supposedly it says that he's got a whole bunch of goods up in his house. We got to get up out of nasty old Detroit. Let's break into this guy's house and steal him for his goods. Well, that does happen. Unfortunately, turns out this homely blind man is actually an ex-army veteran. So I think he lost his sight from serving, going over to war. And he actually lost his daughter. So that's how he got some kind of settlement where he was paid off. Things don't turn out the way they thought it would. And that tells the story of Don't Breathe. They're trying to figure out how to escape this blind man's house. Like I said, solid thriller. I've heard little things here and there on the internet where people are going, well, the characters are unsympathetic and then the victim turns into the bad guy and he's not sympathetic and blah, blah, blah. Look, this movie is constructed in such a way that this is a haunted house thriller. This is basically almost like Halloween 1978, right? That's basically a haunted house movie, right? You got your teenage characters, you got your Dr. Loomis, you got the bad guy. You know very little about them. Same formula applies here. You know what I mean? You know just what you need to know about these characters, and then you place them in their situation, you let the wheels turn, and the ride begins. That's all you need to know. Now, as far as sympathy for this person or that or the other, and I hear some reviewers say, well, when the tables are turned, I didn't feel any sympathy for him. People are overanalyzing this thing. You're not supposed to feel sympathy. Basically, what you're supposed to feel is Stephen Lang coming around this corner? That is the object of Don't Breathe. It is just to elicit an emotional response from you. It's not about you feeling sympathetic for the characters. They just want you to feel a certain way. They want you to feel the suspense of, is this crazy guy coming? What's coming next? That is simply what this movie is made for, period. Period. Anybody looking for anything else, you're going to be sorely disappointed. So if you come into this movie with that in mind, at least in my opinion, in my horror thriller expertise, I think you will get what you paid for. So if you go into this movie for that reason, you're coming in with the right idea. If you're coming in talking about you want, Robert De Niro, Meryl Streep characterization, go check out Hell on High Water or whatever other indie, spectacularly acted, well shot art house movie is out. This ain't it. But this works very well as a horror thriller. I really liked it. There's really not much else I can really say about it. It really works on all cylinders. I have heard some movie reviewers. Oh, what I would like to emphasize is that really the movie has a very good use of sound. Of course, Stephen Lang is this blind man, so he operates kind of off of his senses. You know what I mean? Does very good camera work, and that's what I also like too, is how he's a blind character, so the camera in the movie kind of moves like the movie moves with him as he's touching the area, touching his surroundings. He doesn't know where everything is. I really like that about the movie, and what I do like is when the tables turn, you really can kind of see that even though he's blind, he's kind of still very tactical in his means. He's very lethal, very efficient, and it's quick and brutal. I like that about the movie. The camera work, the sound is very good. The movie kind of does, there's little homages in here. There's a little homage, at least I take it as an homage. I don't know if the director had that in mind, but there's a little homage, I think, to the people under the stairs with the Rottweiler going through the walls and stuff. Another homage to, of course, Silence of the Lambs. We've seen that one on the previews with Buffalo Bill and Clarice in the cell at the end with the lights out. And there's another homage to Silence of the Lambs that I'm not going to give away. And it could be taken as an homage to the movie The Cell with Jennifer Lopez. If you guys know those movies very well, you'll probably know where I'm going. And let alone they give away some of it in the previews just because the a-holes who put together trailers just can't help themselves. Really good stuff there. It kind of does a little bit get into territories where Stephen Lang kind of becomes very Michael Myers-ish, where he's just popping up everywhere. Of course, everybody says, like when people do reviews for those older movies, the teleporting that goes on a lot of those 80s slasher movies. Stephen Lang gets a little bit of that here, a little bit of the master of teleporting and all of that. But it's okay. This is that kind of movie, so it's cool, Now, on to the complaint about kind of the movie getting a little bit repetitive. I do agree. It gets a little bit repetitive. And there is some debate about the third act. Okay. Here's my thing about the third act. At least to me, it feels like similar situation like Rob Zombie's Halloween remake, where it kind of felt like this was ending earlier and then they just added some stuff on. That's how it felt to me. It felt to me that this movie ended quicker and they added more stuff on. Now, to me, I really think the movie should have ended at a certain point, and I think it should have just been left there, but it kind of goes on a little bit longer than it should, and then there's like some other... To me, this ending felt tacked on, where there's something that happens on the news and a person is with someone else and they walk off and the camera pans up, traditionally how movies end. I kind of felt that stuff was not needed. I think the movie should have just ended at this certain point. And as far as, I've heard other movie reviewers talk about a twist, shall we say. A twist, a reveal in the plot. Okay, look. When you're doing these kind of horror thrillers, the boo moments get old, okay? So this movie, is essentially, it's a boo movie. It's a series of boo movies. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh, it's just a dog. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh, Robbie, it's just you. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh, it's him, That's what this movie is. This is purely how it operates. you can only do that so much until you have to bring in another element. So, and also too, with this being a horror thriller, how did I feel about this other element they brought in? Uh, for what it is, it's a Boo movie. Like I said, it's a Boo haunted house movie. I was okay with it. Um, yeah, I'm trying to keep my mouth shut because I don't want to give away too much. Uh, is this reveal stomach turning? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But is it sick? Yes. Is it gross? Yes. But all that being said, this is a Boo movie. Okay, the Boo moments eventually run out, so you have to bring in something else to hold the audience's attention, and you also have to bring in something else that this being a horror thriller, it has to be something that's shocking and that really messes with the audience. So, for that reason, I was okay with the twist. It might have been a little bit too much, might have been a little bit too uncomfortable, might have been a little bit too much gruesome for some people. I could see that, but again, this is the type of movie that it is. They had to bring that in to make it, and that's debatable. You know what I mean? I don't know if they necessarily had to kind of make it that kind of, they probably could have left that out, but the idea is like a roller coaster ride. You have to keep ratcheting it up, ratcheting it up, ratcheting it up, and then you have to hit the pinnacle of those moments. So, looking at it from that perspective, it was a necessary move. Could they have lived without it and the movie's still been okay? Probably so. But that's pretty much all I got to say about Don't Breathe. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, go into it with those expectations that it's a Boo movie. And, really, I kind of really would have saw this movie more coming out around October, but I guess maybe they wanted to get the jump. You know what I mean? Because I think this is like a perfect movie that you go and watch with the leaves blowing outside and it being like a very fall, kind of cold October night. I think this movie is perfect for that kind of setting. But that being said, I really enjoyed the film. Runs out of steam a little bit, goes on a little bit too long, but I still really liked it. And I highly recommend it to horror thriller fans. The normal, regular Joe Schmo off the street, I don't know if I recommend it to them because they'll always complain. Like when the movie was over, I heard some people go, "Oh, that movie was stupid." I don't understand why people, I'm tired of people hating on horror movies all the time. And they always go, "It's stupid, it's stupid, it's this, it's that. Why did the girl fall? Why did they not go out the door?" That's what you're paying for. You're paying for the guy not to go out the door and to do something stupid and for the killer to find him. You're paying for a killer chase people movie. That's what you're paying for. Like, if 50 Cent comes out and doesn't say, "I'm going to put 4 in your head," you know what I mean? You're going to be like, what is 50 Cent doing? I mean, he's giving me a heartfelt monologue. What? You're not paying for that. You're paying for the killer's coming around the corner. Oh, should he go? Oh, should he not? Oh, we can't go. And then the killer comes out. That's what you're paying for. So shut up. Quit hating on horror movies. If you don't like them, go watch The Bridges of Madison Square County or whatever that movie is called. Anyway, that's my rant today. Don't Breathe for horror fans only. Go check it out. True horror fans. Thumbs up the video. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video. And leave comments down below about Don't Breathe. How you felt about some third act plot reveals. And we can just talk about movies. And remember, RMJ Movie Reviews will be back again. Whew, smoking.